It's pretty wild to think about. Imagine launching a basic, stripped-down photo app with absolutely no massive media company backing it, no complicated network structure, just an app. Yet somehow it inadvertently birthed a multi-billion-dollar creator economy. In this explainer, we're going to dive right into how this tiny little piece of software fundamentally altered modern marketing and literally changed the very nature of digital commerce. We'll trace how a simple idea went from, basic photo filters to becoming one of the most influential platforms on the planet, completely reshaping how we share our lives, how celebrities connect with fans, and how businesses sell us things.
So what are we really looking at here? Well, the absolutely crucial point we need to unpack is how this app managed to take ordinary smartphone users and turn them into thriving global businesses. It's a completely unprecedented shift. We're talking about an everyday person armed with literally nothing but the mobile device in their pocket, suddenly being able to build a massive, incredibly lucrative career. And let's be clear, this wasn't just about creating a fun side hustle. This was the exact genesis of an entirely new asset class altogether, the creator.
Let's quickly look at our roadmap for today. We've got 5 key areas. First, from bourbon to Instagram. Second, the billion-dollar bet. Third, the birth of the creator economy. Fourth, the advertising engine. And finally, adapting to survive.
Okay, part 1. From bourbon to Instagram. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but founders Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger's original idea wasn't actually Instagram at all. Back in 2009, they built an app called Bourbon, and Bourbon was a lot. It was heavily focused on location. You could check in at places, share your future plans, post photos, earn points. It was basically a super cluttered interface. But, and this is the genius part, they looked at their user data and realized Bourbon was just trying to do way too much. Users really only cared about one specific thing: sharing photos. So instead of piling on more features, they made the terrifying radical decision to delete almost everything. The new formula was profoundly simple. Take a photo, slap a filter on it to make your blurry 2010 smartphone picture look somewhat artistic, and share it. That brilliant pivot, that is exactly how Instagram was born in October 2010.
Moving on to part 2, the billion-dollar bet. Flash forward to 2012. A much, much larger social giant, Facebook, was paying very close attention to Instagram's explosive user growth. And keep in mind, Instagram wasn't blowing up because they had some massive ad budget. No, it was growing purely through word of mouth and the natural viral nature of a visual network. So how on earth did a company with a grand total of 13 employees justify an astronomical acquisition price of $1 billion? Well, Mark Zuckerberg basically saw the writing on the wall. He knew the future of social media was shifting heavily to mobile, and Instagram completely owned mobile photography. So in April 2012, Facebook made its move, and the entire tech world was utterly shocked by that price tag for such a tiny startup.
But here's the thing, Facebook wasn't just buying some office space and 13 employees. They were playing a much longer game. They were strategically purchasing the foundational infrastructure for the entire future of the creator economy. They scooped up a massive, rapidly growing community, a totally dominant mobile brand, and the essential blueprint for visual networking. Today, looking back, this is widely viewed as one of the most strategically important tech deals of our era because it completely secured Meta's dominance on mobile.
Which brings us to part 3, the birth of the creator economy.
Let's really get into the core of our explainer today. As the user base just kept skyrocketing, Instagram stopped being just a casual place to share heavily filtered photos of your lunch. It morphed into a living, breathing global economy. Enter the social media creator. Think about how impossible this concept was even 20 years ago, right? Back then, you had to move to Hollywood or New York, hire a fancy agent, book auditions, or climb a massive corporate ladder just to get your ideas in front of a few thousand people. Suddenly, anyone with a smartphone had a global broadcasting tower right in their pocket. By completely bypassing traditional media gatekeepers, everyday people could build their own highly engaged audiences and command their own brand deals completely on their own terms.
What's genuinely fascinating about this is how incredibly diverse industries used this visual platform to turn eyeballs into highly lucrative businesses. Take restaurants, for example. They didn't just serve food anymore. They literally started redesigning their physical lighting, changing their wallpaper, and totally rethinking how they plated their dishes, just to look visually perfect for food photography. It was basically free, user-generated marketing. Fashion companies bypassed traditional ad agencies because they realized a billboard was vastly less effective than partnering directly with these new influencers. Fitness trainers went from being local gym employees to building massive, highly profitable global subscription communities right from their living rooms. Ordinary people were essentially turning their daily routines into full-fledged, multi-million-dollar lifestyle businesses.
All right, part 4, the advertising engine.
Of course, all these creators and brands needed a sophisticated way to actually make money. Instagram had the attention, for sure, but to truly become an economy, it needed a rigorous business model. By leveraging Facebook's incredibly precise digital advertising system, Instagram allowed sponsored posts to blend seamlessly into the organic feed. Because the platform is inherently visual, an advertisement doesn't necessarily look like an intrusive, annoying commercial. It just looks like a beautiful photograph, a sleek product video, or a trusted recommendation from a creator you already follow. This deep integration allowed brands to measure the exact return on investment for partnering with creators. It was an absolute masterstroke by Meta, turning Instagram into a massive revenue engine and fully validating the creator economy as a real, sustainable business structure.
And finally, part 5, adapting to survive.
Because let's be real, the landscape of the internet changes brutally fast. Just being the top photo app doesn't guarantee you're going to be relevant tomorrow. When short-form vertical video exploded worldwide and started capturing all of our attention, Instagram had to respond aggressively with Reels. TikTok fundamentally changed how people consume media, shifting away from just following your friends to watching an endless stream of algorithmically recommended vertical videos. But the real threat for Meta wasn't just losing users. TikTok was threatening to steal Instagram's most valuable asset, its creators. To keep those creators profitable and their economy thriving, Meta knew they had to adapt the core product and lean heavily into video.
So Instagram survived by constantly cannibalizing and changing its own core product to match exactly how we are using technology. Look at the timeline. 2010, it's just simple, square photos. 2013, video features arrive. By 2016, to combat the explosive rise of Snapchat, they launched disappearing stories, shifting the platform away from carefully curated, perfect single images to more authentic, behind-the-scenes daily communication. And then by 2020, to fight TikTok, they pivoted heavily to short-form Reels. They didn't survive by staying exactly the same, they survived by ruthlessly reading the room.
But reaching a massive global scale like that doesn't happen in a vacuum. As a natural consequence of reaching billions of users, platforms of this size deeply impact everyday culture and politics. And as the platform grew, so did very real, serious concerns. We're talking about issues regarding privacy, online harassment, the rapid spread of misinformation, and the profound effects that highly tuned recommendation algorithms can have on young users' self-perception. Once a tool is used by billions of people, its influence extends far beyond mere technology. It heavily impacts the very fabric of society itself.
So, bringing it all together, why did the platform triumph? It was essentially a perfect storm. 1. Absolute simplicity and a mobile-first design, built exactly when the smartphone was becoming central to our lives. 2. Visual communication. Photos and videos require zero translation. They cross global borders instantly. And 3. Constant, aggressive product evolution, perfectly combined with the unmatched power of Meta's advertising infrastructure to actually empower those creators to make a living.
As we look toward Meta's future and the continuing rapid evolution of the creator economy, I want to leave you with this provocative thought to ponder. What do you think Instagram's next big transformation will be? Technology simply doesn't stay still. The platforms that survive are the ones that understand when the world is changing and actually change with it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.